But this morning we're looking at the theme, Walking with God in a Secular World. And I'd like to take my opening text from 1 John chapter 2. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 6 to 6. He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked. So that is our theme, walking with God in a secular world or a material world. We are in the world, but we are not of the world. Jesus said that, didn't he? You know, over the centuries, people have tried to separate themselves into communities, into monasteries, and to escape the world. And yet, that kind of misses the point of our being here, because the very purpose of our being here is to be a witness to the world. Amen? Jesus said, "Ye are the salt of the earth." Salt, in the good sense, is preservation. So God's people are sprinkled throughout the world to keep the world from going totally corrupt. That's what we're here for. Amen? We're here as salt to be preservation through the earth. You notice that today millions of refugees are flooding into basically Christian countries, because they know that in a Christian country they can get comfort, they can get relief, and so on. Jesus also said on the Sermon on the Mount, "Ye are the light of the world." So the very purpose of us being here is to be a light in a darkened world. We're here to illumine the darkness, to be a light in the darkness. Amen? You don't light a candle, you don't hide it under a bushel, but we're here as lights so that we can illumine other people. However, it is in our sanctity, in our separation spiritually, that we convict the world. I mean, when the church loses its sanctity, they no longer have any power to convict the world. Are you with me here? When we lose our sanctity, when we lose that's divine separation, we can't convict anybody. When the salt loses its savor, its sincerity, it has no power anymore to savor, to convict. So the point is, the church that compromises with the world has no power to convict the world. You know, somebody told me a story one time about a worldly Christian. He's in a shop. He was one of the boys, told dirty stories and everything else. And one day, one of his fellow workers fell and was dying there. And he was crying out for somebody to help him. And this so-called Christian fellow kept silent. He was ashamed to try to witness or to try to pray with this man because he had been such a bad testimony in this place. That's why we want to